In the autism and speech delay world, there seems to be a big push to teach children to label colors. So today I am covering when and how to teach colors, especially to children with autism or speech delays. So let's get to it. Hi there, I'm Dr. Mary Barbera, and welcome to the Autism and Speech Delays Made Easy podcast. If you're brand new here, a special welcome, and if you've been listening for years, I appreciate you too. So most toddlers and preschoolers pick up colors, labeling colors, receptively identifying colors pretty easily without any direct teaching. There are a few popular blogs out there about teaching colors to children without autism, just to any child. Edu and Kate's blog, which we will link in the show notes, mentions that colors play a significant role in a child's development. Colors can help children understand and categorize the world around them. Like I said, typically developing children pick up colors really naturally. Learning colors is an essential milestone in a child's early development, and it lays the foundation for various cognitive and language skills. And I couldn't agree anymore with all of these statements. However, it's important to note that there's a good and a not so good time to teach colors to children, especially when they have very little language and they have a developmental delay or speech delay. Years ago, a local mom who's a friend of mine brought her young son to my house. He was not yet diagnosed with autism, but he would go on to get one. I was going to assess him and give her some tips and tricks. I pointed to a chair and asked him, "What's this called?" And he said, "Yellow chair." His mom and dad, who were with him, looked so proud since he not only labeled the chair, he also stated the correct color. And this boy was about 2. The parents were then confused and a little upset when I told them that it actually would have been much better had the child just said chair and not yellow chair, because I didn't ask for the color of the chair. You might be thinking, Mary, what's the big deal? Labeling colors shows more cognitive ability, doesn't it? So shouldn't we celebrate color responses like yellow chair, like his parents wanted to celebrate? So the issue is that a child may start to label everything as yellow chair, blue chair, blue car, and they may start to see the color yellow as a noun instead of an adjective. Lovery's article on colors, which we will also link below, states that young children tend to process language in order. And so the words they hear and the words they use first have more importance. So if they know and hear the word and say the word object of a chair, it's easier for them to learn things about the chair, what comes next after chair, like a chair is yellow. They can also build on chair with different things, not just colors, like that's a high chair, that's a soft chair, that's daddy's chair, that's you sit in a chair, or they might be able to request, help me move the chair eventually. So we want to be able to build that future language and flexible language and not have them get stuck on labeling just the color and the item constantly. So Edu and Kate's blog brings up the fact that lots of children tend to start to show an interest in colors as early as 18 months of age. Some may grasp colors earlier than that, while others take a little longer. This may be true in some cases, but in my experience and from some of the literature, even typically developing kids, don't expect colors to come in and be identified easily until about 30 months of age. And in fact, for behavior analysts who might be listening, who use the BB MAP assessment published by Dr. Mark Sundberg in 2008, receptive and expressive identification of colors is not expected until level 3 of the BB MAP, which is past the 30-month age. So Lovery's blog on teaching colors to toddlers indicates this 30-month age as well. Regardless of the real age of your child or client, we don't want to be teaching colors before the child has some strong nouns and some strong basic language. You can't build a house without a solid foundation. And I tend to see colors being really focused on and messing up that long-term functional language. Even if you're not pushing the child to label or receptively identify colors, there's a lot of sorting of colors really early, and putting the yellow bear in the yellow cup or the red bear in the red cup. And then adults are pairing things like red bear and yellow bear over and over again. And this isn't going to teach more functional skills like labeling mommy, daddy, shoe, bed, those sorts of things. Labeling and receptively identifying colors is actually a higher skill than matching and sorting too. And we, like I said, we want dozens of nouns solid, where the child is able to say them without you saying them first, without major prompting. We want a child to have those first couple dozen nouns. I would even say 50 to 100 nouns before we even think about focusing on colors. Some kids will naturally learn to identify colors by parents or preschool teachers who use like color activities, like it's going to be red day on Friday, or tomorrow bring in things that are green to share with our group. And this is nice and ideal, and it's probably not going to mess things up if it's just done naturally. But when a child has limited language, we, again, don't want to over-focus. We want to teach kids language that matters and let colors come in as naturally as possible. I did a podcast and some work on how to let those two-word utterances come in as naturally as possible, and we can link that below in the show notes as well. So what do you do when you are ready? When you have a child with autism or speech delay who can label dozens or 50 or 100 nouns, then we're ready to do systematic teaching of colors if needed. I did do a video blog with my former client Max and his mom years ago demonstrating this exact procedure that I'm going to talk about now. And we're going to link that in the show notes as well, where you can actually see a real child who never got a diagnosis of autism, but he did have severe language disorder, and we are able to demonstrate how we taught him colors using the construction paper method that I'm going to show you now. So when it's time to teach colors, I want you to get construction paper, big pieces of construction paper, and cut them into smaller squares. It's important that you pick 3 colors when you do this, and you will want to pick colors that the child likes. Like if purple's his favorite color, then purple should be one of your favorite, the 3 colors. If you don't know what his favorite color is and you want to just pick 3, I think a good 3-color mixture is green, yellow, and red, because eventually we are going to move to things that are green, yellow, and red, which there's a lot. Like yellow, for instance, we know it's banana, which is a food. And we've got a duck is yellow, and that's an animal. And we have a school bus that's yellow, and that's a vehicle. Same with green and red. We've got things that are standard, always red, always yellow, always green, from multiple categories. So I do like red, yellow, and green, unless the child has poor articulation, such as yellow. I think in the video with Max, and I'm going to link below this video, we have some articulation errors and we had to swap out colors, I believe. So you want to get multiple squares of the same 3 colors and get ready to teach sorting and then expressive and receptive identification of colors. Just a couple more points about picking colors. I would not pick things like orange and red at the same time. They're too close. So if the child's favorite color is orange and he knows orange, you're going to pick orange, yellow, and green probably. You also want to avoid things like black, brown, white, and gray, and even pastel colors like pink or pink, light pink, bright pink. Pick primary colors to start with. That's always best, unless the child's favorite color is pink or white. So we get our 3 colors. We're going to just assume they are red, yellow, and green for our purposes. We're going to get our little squares, maybe 6 exemplars for each color, and then we're going to get ready to teach sorting first, probably, but we don't just do silent sorting. We start with pairing the word, and we have 1 exemplar down on the table, and then we pair yellow, 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 put it with the yellow, yellow. The child may echo. If they do, great. What is it? Yellow. And then we do the same thing. Green. We want to mix these up so it's a really active session of sorting colors and labeling the color. The adult labels the color up to 3 times while the child matches and sorts. Even in the natural environment, we want to stop labeling, this is a red fire truck, this is a yellow banana, this is a yellow chair. We want to just do these color activities with our construction paper, keeping colors separate from nouns, at least in the beginning. And once we do sorting activities and we build labeling and we build the ability for the child to touch yellow or give you yellow, then once we have all that fluent, we can begin to combine, red and car and things like that. But we want to make sure we get everything solid on its own before we start combining things. I realize it may be tough because lots of parents and professionals really tend to hyper-focus on colors because they think that that's what preschoolers should learn. And when I say it's a 30-month skill, you might have a 3-year-old, but their actual language ability is more like an 18-month-old or a 12-month-old or a 9-month-old. We need to get those basic skills up before we go bombarding with colors. So, in conclusion, 3 things you can do today to teach colors more effectively to children with autism or speech delays, or really any child that needs direct instruction on colors. Number 1, stop focusing on teaching colors too early and with kids with little to no language. If you're a parent or a professional, you may need to spread the word about this and encourage your child's team to stop hyper-focusing on colors for now too. Maybe send them this video. Number 2, we can begin pairing colors with children who are ready using sorting activities, always pairing the word, just the word, not the noun. And when it's time to teach a child to label and receptively identify colors, we want to use construction paper, picking the same 3 colors to focus on for these special learning activities. We always want to start with 3 colors, though, not just with 1, because that won't help with conditional discrimination. So in general, colors are a great thing to teach when a child is saying dozens or hundreds of nouns, and hopefully the colors will even come in more naturally. It won't require direct instruction. And the more natural the skill comes in, the better it will be. But we can definitely teach colors. We can definitely encourage it. Just be careful as you move forward. So if you would like more information about how to build language, you can listen to the other podcasts that I'm going to link below. And you can also join us for a free workshop using the link right below this video. I have courses for parents and professionals to learn how to teach kids basic and more abstract language skills while reducing problem behaviors and improving self-care along the way as well. So I hope you tune in next week, same time, same place, and I really hope this information has helped you. Have a great one.